I am Mariatu Sidibe and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main local and sports news headlines. As anticipation builds ahead of the inauguration of the OMVG substation tomorrow, we speak to the project's electrical engineer. The Queen's Baton Relay ended its 3-day stopover in the Gambia with visits to the Kanifing municipality and the West Coast region and concluded by cruising the River Gambia in a boat named QTV. There is relief throughout the tourism industry as the first tourist flight from the UK lands following the suspension of such flights due to COVID-19. We hear how the C3G Foundation in the Gambia, with support from the Japanese government, inaugurated a new cancer treatment lab at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. In a major boost to education, the Q Group Foundation, in partnership with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, has launched a university scholarship package for higher achieving students from underprivileged backgrounds. In sports news, the Gambia Deaf national football team expressed optimism ahead of hosting the 10th edition of the ECOWAS Deaf Football Tournament. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. All is now set for the historic inauguration of the OMVG Summer Substation tomorrow, Saturday, by President Barrow. QTV's Aliou Cisse has arrived in Soma ahead of the inauguration and spoke to Idrissa Jaju, the project's electrical engineer.
It is less than 24 hours and all is set here in Jara Soma, Lower River region, where 3 heads of state are expected at this venue tomorrow to inaugurate this much awaited Soma substation as part of the 15th substation under the OMVG project. This project is expected to help in addressing the power supply challenges that Gambians have been facing. Well, Idrissa Jaju is the project electrical engineer and he has been sharing with us what this project intends to achieve.
The preparation is on track. As you can see, everything is ready for tomorrow. We hope tomorrow we'll have a successful inauguration, because you can see in terms of technically we are ready. Right now the station is running and part of Soma is being supplied, and definitely once we get here tomorrow, the people will be able to see and really feel the project. Yeah.
You're talking about some part of Soma being already benefiting from this project. What next after the inauguration?
Okay, the idea is to get the whole country being supplied by OMVG, But now for a start is Soma. It may interest you to know that from Soma, we also have Soma line going to Brikama, which is now being done. That line should be finished by December. And by December, we have a substation in Brikama, that one also coming on board, just like this one. So once you have Brikama coming on board, you can also have the GBA being supplied by OMVG. And eventually, NAVEC 2 is doing the distribution. The idea is to get the power to everybody in the Gambia. That's our dream. Yeah.
But looking at it, how important is this project to the sub-region? Because you have to understand this is a project which is serving for Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry and Senegal.
Yeah, it's a very important project given the fact that we all know how the member states are struggling with power crisis. In the Gambia, we know, in Senegal, in Guinea, it's a problem everywhere. But when we come together, we hope that by coming together, definitely it will be able to, because the dams, are there. We have about 3 dams under the project, and with their supply, definitely we hope that will bring stability in terms of our power supply. So that's the significant part of it. That will also bring more development for our countries and our people. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaju, for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, that's Idrissa Jaju, project electrical engineer, speaking to us about what this project has so far achieved. And like he has said, this is something that Gambians have been waiting for, and it will surely help in the government's drive to ensure every Gambian have access to electricity by 2025. For QTV News from Jara Soma, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Queen's Baton Relay ended its 3-day stopover in the Gambia with visits to the Kanifing municipality and the West Coast region. After a 3-day intensive tour of 3 regions, the Baton ended cruising the River Gambia in a boat named QTV. Babukar C reports.
The baton ended its tour of the country with the Deputy Mayor of KMC collecting the baton from the Lord Mayor of Banjul. The tour then continued via the Baton Highway with students, athletes and other designated carriers, handing over the baton en route to the area called Traffic Light and ending up at KMC headquarters. The Deputy Mayor, Binta Jane Jallo, delivering the keynote address on behalf of the Mayor, said the Commonwealth of Nations should lead by example by fostering love and unity.
We have just witnessed the route the baton took to arrive here in the chambers of council. This journey is counted among the 294 days the baton will take to go around the world, connecting communities in every corner of the Commonwealth, embracing unique cultures and sharing experience among other laudable initiatives. I therefore, on behalf of my Lord Mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, call on all Commonwealth nations to collaborate for the good of humanity. This must not be mere words that we alter and forget. It must be a commitment that we all should take active roles to ensure that we achieve the aspirations that embody the Commonwealth.
At Abuko, the Deputy Mayor then handed over the baton to the Governor of West Coast Region the following day, who also embarked on a similar activity, escorting the baton to Brikama, with students and athletes having the opportunity to run with the baton along the highway. On arrival at the Governor's office in Brikama, he was full of praise for the organizers and described himself as lucky to be among the few to run with the baton twice.
Running with the baton is a good blessing, I can say. Only a few could do that, not everybody. So we have the opportunity to run with the baton. That's history, and this is also in the history books. I ran this thing some years ago when I was here as governor initially. And this is my second time running with the baton. I think I'm more opportune than anybody in the Gambia having this opportunity twice, you see, in a row. History revealed that some time ago, Gambia went out of the Commonwealth family. But thanks to this present government, through Adam Barrow, that was able to register us back again into this family in 2017, which means that Gambia and Britain need so many things in common as our colonial masters.
The baton then left Brikama for Lamen Lodge, where it cruised through the River Gambia via a boat named QTV. The Queen's Baton Relay ends its Gambia trip with a boat trip from the Lamen Lodge to the Denton Bridge. This is a unique way, and of course a very unique experience the baton is having. It's come back to the Gambia for the first time in more than 9 years. After 3 days of intensive and hectic journey in Banjul, KM, of course the West Coast region, it is ending its tour, of course, cruising through the River Gambia from Lamen Lodge to Denton Bridge. Abdoulaye Jallo, the Secretary General of the Gambia National Olympic Committee, tells us how they came up with the idea.
We were asked to use an alternative route of the baton. Instead of using the road running with it and driving with it, we have to use an alternative route. And what a better route than the River Gambia. So it's a good opportunity to really take the baton from Lamen Lodge to Denton Bridge, where it would end the Queen's Baton Relay in the Gambia.
Thank you very much. It cannot be done in a better way than this, and so the Queen is very proud of the organizing committee in the Gambia. Well, to spice up it up, we've seen the Queen's Baton Relay. It's ending its trip in the Gambia in a QCell boat, or a QTV boat if you like. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
A Titan flight from the UK landed in the Gambia with 136 tourists, marking the first such flights since tourist flights were suspended due to COVID-19. According to tourism authorities, this is the opening of the 2021 new tourist season for the Gambia. Our reporter Ibrahim Balde was at the Banjul International Airport, and he now reports.
Today we are at the Banjul International Airport to witness the first arrival of Titan Airways, a flight from the UK. It's the beginning of another tourist season in the Gambia. As you know, previously, everything was put on hold due to the COVID-19, that of course, which affected the tourism sector. And here we are at the Banjul International Airport to witness the arrival of the first flight from the UK.
We spoke to some of the arriving tourists soon after they landed in the country, and here is what some of them had to say.
Very exciting. We've been waiting a long time because we know how you've been struggling out here. Not so much COVID affecting you, but lack of tourists for starvation, basically, isn't it, for the Africans? So we're really happy to be back.
Yeah, we've been 2.5 years since we were here last. So, yeah, missed it. So we're desperate to get here and, yeah, good flight, so all's good. Yeah, no, it's been run pretty well. We come through smooth. Yeah, it was nice. No.
How long you staying this time?
2 weeks this time.
Are you with your family?
Yeah, and friends, yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem.
The weather is perfect. The people are so friendly, so it's just like a second home.
The Director General of the Gambia Tourism Board, Boubacar S. Kamara, says he is optimistic that this will be a successful tourist season.
Certainly. I mean, when you talk about tourism, it has to go with amenities, and facilities like hotels are important, accommodation. So as a result, honestly, our inspection team, which is the Gambia Tourism Board Inspectorate Unit, have been going around to see their readiness for the season, and some of them are really ready, especially these hotels that are about to accommodate this batch of tourists that have just arrived. They are definitely ready to accommodate just.
Adam Anjay, Director of Marketing at the Gambia Tourism Board, echoed Mr. Kamara's sentiments, adding that all preparations have been done to make tourists have an enjoyable stay, and told us what his expectations are for tourist numbers this year.
What we did from the board was, yes, despite the fact we have COVID, we have to see what we can do. Particularly our online campaign was very aggressive. And the good thing is at least anything we put to the desk of the DG is always approved. And that shows his commitment in terms of making sure that we are exposed. And I think that has actually positioned the Gambia to where it belongs as the smiling coast of Africa. And it's actually paying dividend, and that's why you have seen the first flight. And I'm sure some more flights are coming. And be rest assured we will continue to do what we do best.
Recently, there were reports from the Ministry of Tourism that the UK government has allowed its citizens to fly through the Gambia for tourism, news that was received with a lot of joy, not only by tourists looking forward to coming, but also by hoteliers whose livelihood depends on tourism. The arrival of the Titan flight from the UK is a welcome sign, not only that tourism is back, but it is also one we all hope will be first of many. Ibrahim Balde, QTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we will have some more local and sports news stories.
The Gambia OIC Secretariat, in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and the National Roads Authority, wishes to invite the public to the groundbreaking foundation stone laying for the construction of the 50-kilometer urban road project. The event will take place in Brewfoot at the new football grounds on Wednesday, the 27th of October, 2021. Time is 11 a.m. The project is part of the strategic priorities in preparation for the OIC Summit next year. His Excellency Adama Barrow, President of the Republic, will preside over the occasion and has accepted the honor of laying the foundation stone to mark the emblematic commencement of the civil works of the project. Under the OIC 50-kilometer road project, about 20 new roads will be constructed across the Greater Banjul area. The roads will be equipped with streetlights, drainage and a footpath. Once completed, the identified roads will decongest traffic, boost commerce and improve the urban outlook of the country. So let's come out on Wednesday the 27th to support this huge development and be a part of history.
Sign Language Interpretation Service is proudly supported by the UNDP Accelerator Lab.
ana suma jeeg yu am classe ma ne ana ñu bugg a sanse góor yi ana ngeen ma ne ana ñu bugg a seen bopp kaay leen ma digal leen bitig bu toj Gambie ak àddina laa leen di wax te Wally Shop di bitig buy yëngu si jaayu piis yu góor ak jigéen bitig boo xam ne lépp lu demee ci piis yu baax piis yu toj piis yu am classe lu mel ni til jasner bazen ak brodé ak bépp xeeti piis boo bugga dama seeti Wally Shop te loo leen xamul ci brodé bi Wally Shop dañ lay jaay wholesale la ana jigéen yuy jënd di jaay brodé dem leen seeti Wally Shop ndax foofu rek nga ko mën a amee muy yomb ba bëgg a dee te loo leen si xamut Wally Shop amul ci jaay piis rek de dañ lay jaay ba pare ñu walla lu am classe te xoolal boo mat la wut rek ñu lebal la Wally Shop borom 24 25 ak 26 décembre ana xale yi Wally yi mbaa yéen a ngi waajal ma ne dem leen seeti Wally Shop ku ci bëgg a am lu leer demal seeti Wally Shop ci Beka Plaza Banjul wala nga dem Tipa Garage ci mall bi wala nag nga dem seeti leen ci mall bu es bi di Tropic ñu fa am bitik wala ngeen call leen ci 348 3604 wala 777 2617 Wally Shop for quality ak classe doone benn.
Welcome back. Information and knowledge about cancer is very poor in the Gambia, leading to late diagnosis and treatment for sufferers and demeaning deaths for cancer patients. To help address this, the C3G Foundation in the Gambia, with support from the Japanese government, on Thursday inaugurated a new cancer treatment lab at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. Yahya Jawa was there and he now reports.
Gambia Cancer Confrontation, Care and Consolation is a charitable foundation that aims to confront cancer by providing cancer health education and free treatment across the whole country, using conventional media and other health education campaigns. C3G also provides information on prevention of preventable cancers and early diagnosis of non-preventable cancers. The project was implemented within the framework of the Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Projects funded by the Government of Japan, which support community-based initiatives addressing various development issues. At the event, the president of C3G, Dr. Abubakar Jah, says the inauguration of this lab is one of the biggest achievements for the country in relation to cancer treatment. He says one immunochemistry machine, an automated biochemistry machine, a fully automated hematology machine, a generator and 8 coagulation therapy machines for cervical cancer were purchased using the grant money. However, while stating the importance of these machines in cancer treatment, Dr. Jah also called on government institutions, NGOs, GSM companies, embassies, banks and individual philanthropists to help support the foundation in purchasing reagents for the proper upkeep and sustenance of the...
The acquisition of the machines is just one step towards acquiring our goals. These machines are very expensive, but they need constant supply of consumables so that we can sustain the services. We want to work with the government to be able to run this lab sustainably and uninterrupted for as long as possible. We have calculated that to run the services, we need just over $1 million every year to buy the reagents to be able to run these services continuously.
Japan's ambassador to the Gambia, Tatsuo Arai, says according to the WHO, health systems in low and middle-income countries are often weak and always unprepared to fight life-threatening diseases such as cancer due to lack of resources to help early diagnosis and timely treatment of the disease. He went on to say that the Japanese government is committed and will continue to nurture the good bilateral relations with the government of the Gambia.
The government of Japan has a long-lasting cooperation with the developing countries to address global health challenges by mobilizing expertise, taking actions, and helping to achieve tangible results. The Japanese government financed this project in order to strengthen the capacity of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Baba Jaju, a lab scientist at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and trustee of the C3G Foundation, told journalists the impact the lab equipment will have on people with cancer.
Definitely be a huge boost for cancer patients in the country because cancer diagnosis, like breast cancer, is happening in the country, but there is no treatment center or patient management center in the country to help patients with this. So most patients have to go all the way to Dakar for management of cancer cases.
At the end of the ceremony, the Deputy Chief Medical Director of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Dr. Charles Roberts, Momodu Gassama, the National Professional Officer for Non-Communicable Diseases and Health Promotion, and Dr. Usman Lee of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital all expressed delight at this development, saying the newly established lab will help greatly in cancer treatment in the country. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
The Q Group Foundation, in partnership with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, has launched a university scholarship package for high-achieving students from underprivileged backgrounds. As Zainab Sonko reports, 10 students will benefit annually.
The scholarship package is under the framework of the MOU between the Q Group Foundation and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, signed in 2018. The scholarship package seeks to encourage young Gambians to venture into mathematics, science, ICT and other STEM-related areas. The Executive Director of the Q Group Foundation, Aissatou Jah, elaborates.
We are pleased to announce that under the framework of the MOU signed between MOPSI and Q Group Foundation in 2018, we are announcing a scholarship program for students in the basic education cycle, which in their terms I think means upper basic and senior secondary schools, with the aim to encourage young Gambians to venture into mathematics, sciences, and IC-related programs at the University of the Gambia. One of the main objectives of the scholarship fund is to identify high-achieving students from low socioeconomic backgrounds and provide them with funding to study at the UTG in STEM fields. Under this program, every year, 10 deserving students will be awarded a scholarship, and the awards will be distributed equitably across the 7 regional education directorates. The scholarship will cover tuition fees and free internet access for the entire duration.
Mrs. Jah further delved into the Q Group Foundation's motivation and the need to have more graduates from STEM-related areas in the Gambia.
The students that we've been helping over the past few years, we have realized that most of them, when you ask them what they're studying, they mainly say accounting or development studies. Being a technology-based company, we've been very concerned about that, and we know that technology continues to shape the way we do things in this world. So it's very important that we have a critical mass of our students in sciences and technology, what they call STEM. So that's why we came up with this partnership with MOPSI to encourage students from the high school level to study in these fields.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Louis Moses Mendy, says the partnership is timely as the ministry is currently reviewing its curriculum and has instituted reforms to strengthen STEM education.
We are very pleased as a ministry that the Q Group Foundation is offering this 10 scholarship as a start to look at these critical areas, such that by the time the 4 years study program would have rolled out, we would have at least had 40 students on scholarship, and continuously, if we are able to produce 10 science-related professionals in this country, I'm sure within a short range of 10 years, we'll be able to supply the market with the demand that is needed. And that is the main function and the main reason for this scholarship.
The Q Group Foundation was established in 2016 and is the philanthropic arm of the Q Group of companies. The Q Group Foundation has a long-standing relationship with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education prior to the signing of the MOU in 2018. The National Spelling Bee competition for senior secondary schools in 2010 was part of the major partnerships between the two institutions. During the start of the new academic year, the Q Group Foundation provided personal protective equipment to schools to lessen the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Q Group Foundation has also contributed in health and provision of relief to victims of disaster. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
In sports. The Gambia Deaf national football team expressed optimism ahead of hosting the 10th edition of the ECOWAS Deaf Football Tournament. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga visited at their camp, and this is his report.
There is excitement in the Gambian national deaf football team camp as they get ready to open their campaign in the ECOWAS Deaf Football Tournament on Monday at the Independence Stadium. These players say they are in high spirits ahead of the tournament. One thing is noticeable in their camp: there is unity and a strong sense of national pride. The team captain, Masane Sumare, says they are in an upbeat mood and ready to defend the national colors of the Gambia. We used a sign language interpreter's voice to voice over his answers.
With full hope, Gambia will win this tournament. Yes, because we want the cup to stay in the Gambia here. Because it's our opportunity to host it. It's also our opportunity to win this game. So we've been training for several months, and we want to make sure that the trophy stays here.
8 countries confirmed their participation in the tournament, but many are finding it difficult to travel due to lack of support from their governments. However, Liberia and Guinea have arrived, while Sierra Leone are expected to arrive soon. Lamin Cisse, president of the Gambia Deaf Sports Association, made this confirmation. We used his own voice through help of an interpreter.
We have been preparing for this tournament since 4 months ago, but we start with the ministry since the month of April. So things continue like this. Our deaf footballers, they have been on training at the field for more than 4 months. Now I have confidence on the Scorpion that they will do their best at the tournament.
Musa Koli, coach of the Gambia national deaf football team, says he is hopeful that his boys will win the tournament. He added that for over 4 months, they went through a lot of physical and tactical training to prepare the team.
The Gambia Deaf Football Club has been training for 4 months now, and we have a lot of experience, and I have put in a lot of technical advice in the area of football for them. In the morning from 8 a.m. we go to the football field to practice. In the afternoon at 3 p.m. we also go to the football field. So daily we have training twice a day.
The Gambia national deaf football team won the bronze medal in the same competition in 2019 in Mali. With their level of preparedness, passion and enthusiasm, these players might bring the much-needed flair to set the tournament alight on home soil. Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
That's all we have for you in this bulletin. But before we leave, tomorrow we bring you a special report as President Barrow lays the foundation stone for Tough City, a project to build a city bigger than Banjul, which will see 5,000 homes built and provide employment for 60,000. Thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend.